Welcome back to Threat Assessment. My name's Blake. Today we're going through Pako and Haldan. Alright, so Pako and Haldan are partner commanders. The whole idea is for Pako to fetch things off of my opponent's library and for Haldan to be able to cast them. It's really funny because you get to play people's win cons against them. A lot of times it makes you the enemy very quickly because Pako also gets bigger when that happens.
It's Brittany, bitch.
Most of my mana base is basic lands because originally this was a super cheap deck that literally had 70 lands, and so I've kept it that way, but really the only thing other than basic lands that taps for mana is this Oasis Gardener. And then I do have a bunch of other things that will let me go look for basic lands, like Search for Tomorrow, Explore, Rampant Growth, Shared Summons, and then I have these other things here that'll let me, enchant my lands and tap for more mana.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
So next we're gonna go through interaction. So, I have the typical stuff like negate, refute, decisive denial, Teamer Charm, Repulsive Mutation of cool things like Chandra's Ignition, which, when Pako's super big, it's gonna be super scary when this comes down and hits the board. And it's also a good way to draw out other people's counters, and then I'll have other things that I can play that are even scarier. And then I have things like Solve the Equation, just to be able to kind of go find things that I need in the moment. If I do need something in hand, like a counterspell or something to protect Pako, which brings me into the next section. So this is my interaction with Pako, and this is where kind of the money is made, right? So we're going to Veil of Secrecy, Enter the Enigma, Overprotect, Guy's Gift, Bombadil's Song, Preposterous Proportions, Invigorate, and Teamer Battle Rage. So if you can see here, we're going kind of making Pako unblockable, giving him hexproof or indestructible, and then just making him big or double strike. And so it's really all about keeping Pako on board, making him as big as possible. The entire deck is going to be running through Pako, and so you have to keep him on board. If he dies, it kind of sucks because he is a 5-cost commander. I've had multiple games where I get him up to double-digit cost very quickly. So really important to keep him on board. Brings me into the win con section. There are a lot of things that go into win con. Like I mentioned, keeping Pako on board, but also making him unblockable and having it be a permanent thing rather than just one turn interaction of letting him be unblockable during one turn. So we're going through things like Trailblazer's Boots, Whisper Silk Cloak, Wingspan Stride, Fey Flight. These things are actually, they are kind of funny because you are making them just fear you where nothing that they can do will stop him. I mean, he's unblockable, making him fly. Commander damage is going to be a huge thing, so giving him double strike permanently is pretty crazy because a lot of times you can have him be, a 12-12, 3 turns into him being on board, and if he has double strike and also unblockable, I mean, it's pretty much game over. And then, speaking of game over, going infinite is something that's super possible in this deck. So, using something like Bear Umbra, Sword of Feast and Famine, and Nature's Will, one of these 3, along with Aggravated Assault, is just repetitive, unlimited attack phases, and they can't stop you. So, with flavor, obviously, you gotta have Basilisk Collar, Pako being a dog, it's what it is. And then couple funny things. Making him a flying dog, again, is cool, and then making it where nobody else can fly. Archetype of Imagination. Quite a spike, so, having him hit you and not only deal a lot of commander damage, but then you also lose half your life is quite funny as well. Unnatural Growth. Really, I just like this because it's Baby Groot, and, make him double the power and toughness each turn is pretty crazy. This one is funny because being a board wipe, Blasphemous Act usually kills everything, but Pako is usually much bigger than that, and so you can play that and Pako survives and everything else dies. And then kind of the last thing, playing stuff off the top of other people's libraries is something I haven't really mentioned much, but that is something where you can take advantage of that, where you play something like Memory Lapse, so you counter somebody's spell, and make them put it on top of their library, and then the next turn you go around, you make them exile it, you get to take it, and you can use it later in the game. It definitely pisses people off, and it's a great time. All right, so if you like this deck, come check it out in the next episode of PodPolitics, and we'll see you there.
Yo, thanks for checking out a video. Go watch more videos. Like, share, and subscribe. You better fucking subscribe too, or you're messed up.